Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Alright, we are back! Finally, it is the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with the one, the only Booner and Broder. We appreciate all of you guys locking in today. Broder?
Hey, Boone.
How are we doing today?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, actually.
Dude, Tuesday night, no football. We get to talk about football.
There is some football.
What's going on?
Maction.
Let me get some action from the back section.
In Central Michigan, Western Michigan. I believe, who else is playing, Nick? Ohio, maybe?
Does Central have their signs?
They've given up some signs, yes.
Oh, okay.
There's been some exchanging of the signs in the MAC as well.
Mount Pleasant or Kalamazoo? What's your favorite?
Oh, you know what? I wonder if Connor Stallions is sitting on the sideline tonight.
Ain't Battalion.
Mount Pleasant all the way.
Mount Pleasant too. It was right down the road from Saginaw.
Think so?
I've never actually
Kalamazoo's pretty underrated.
I've never been to Kalamazoo for like a party or anything.
Kalamazoo's kind of sweet.
It was a great time, but
never did.
Kind of fun.
What's the word? Kazoo?
Hey, Kazoo like that, man. I like Kazoo.
I've just gone Mount Pleasant.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Mount Pleasant.
No, not at all.
As long as you like gambling.
Yeah. Wayside. Anyone partake in some Wayside?
I have.
All right. Yeah, that's a good time. I've had a few. I have a lot of stories about that place. We won't get into those tonight, though. We are locked in. We have a full show ahead of you guys. We have a lot of things happening tonight. There's been some new Michigan news. JMU. First of all, can we start with that, Broder? Shout out to JMU, James Madison University, locking down Michigan State, that team that was supposed to be good during basketball season, right?
Weren't they ranked top 5?
Number 4 in the country?
Yeah.
Imagine, I was texting Spenny this last night. I was like, you can't be mad that I'm sitting here going at you a little bit about this, because if Michigan football, as the 4th ranked team at one point in the country, if they lost to Bowling Green or just went to overtime, imagine the backlash we would have gotten as Michigan fans.
Yeah, they have just taken care of business against the Bowling Greens and Eastern Carolinas of the world and are still getting hated.
Yes. And the good part about it, though, if we're being completely honest, it is college basketball, so you have 30 games, 32 games. So it's not like they're out, but that is very embarrassing.
We don't want to go down a weight class and really stick it. Like we don't need to pile it on Michigan State right now. They got a lot going on.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we got to stay up in our weight class above here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot that. That was said in a couple messages there, the weight class thing, which some Michigan State fans did admit that they were lower weight class. So
yeah, hey, it happens.
Real quick, though. You guys remember I've given out that JMU bet a couple times, and you guys laughed at me. JMU football. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When Lucas was here on a Friday, and I said, and I said, best bet right now, game's about to happen, do JMU. Jaylen, do you have that JMU graphic I threw in Slack?
Second, I got you.
What did you do?
Keep ranting about it. Go ahead.
I just want to let you guys know. You guys laughed at me a couple weeks ago. The whole room, as a whole, I was laughed at for saying, hey, JMU's legit. Take them, and I said they're one of the top 25 teams in the country in college football.
I do remember
you all laughed
at
me. Now look at this. The James Madison Dukes 2023-24 season football team. They are ranked number 21 now in the AP Top 25, 9-0. JMU basketball defeats the number 4 Michigan State Spartans last night at the Breslin Center.
Tough loss.
What a day what a year for JMU right now.
Wow. They are ranked 21. Good for you, Boone.
Thank you.
That's a call. Was it a guarantee, Booner guarantee, or just
it was a guarantee. They were never going to lose in their conference, and they should have been ranked 3 weeks ago.
Hey, never know. Maybe they sneak in there over Michigan in the college football playoff if they decide to keep Michigan out. Great hat, by the way.
Don't say that. Come on. Yeah, the national championship, 97.
What do you mean? Stephen A. and Pat McAfee and all those guys said that.
I don't want to. I've already gone at Stephen A. I went at Stephen A. 1 week, and the next week he had the Lions as number 1.
Gotcha.
Oh, no. And then the next week we went at him because he said we were frauds. Yeah.
I wonder what he thinks about the Seahawks. What we're going to talk about? There's a lot of saltiness floating around. I love it, actually.
There is. And let's do this. All right, should I go? I'll go over the...
Yeah, go over it.
Real quick.
How about
what we have today going on for you guys watching. Make sure you guys like the stream. Share a little bit to some people. Hit the share button. Put it on your social. Or send it to some family, friends. Make sure you guys do that. 8:15, we're going to lock in a little bit. Just talk about the injury report a little bit here with the Lions if there's updates. You were in Allen Park today. You were at the press conference as well, so I'm sure you have a couple quotes.
I got you.
To tell us about 8:30. We're going to dive into this Chargers game a little bit. I have some questions for you, Broder. Not 8:45. Aiden Hutchinson. Expectations for the second half of the season. He only has 4.5 sacks so far, way behind his mark. I want expectations set. I want to kind of change where we were at the beginning of the year at 8:45. 9 o'clock, we are going around the NFL. PFF released their midseason awards. I wanted to get our reactions a little bit on some of those awards and wanted to see if you thought there was someone else that should be in those awards. 9:15, we're going to obviously do our power rankings as well. 9:30, we're going to react to the national ones. I have Pete Prisco, our own Pete Prisco, Sports Illustrated guy, Connor, or I have his, and I have Fox's as well, so we can break those down. And then 9:40, hopefully this Red Wings get a win here tonight, so we can talk about that about 9:40, and then wrap the show up. Broder, first thing we'll talk about though.
Wait, we got to say hi to
the
Nick
boys
and Jaylen. We got to introduce everybody.
I'm sorry, we've had the full crew for a little while now.
Oh yeah. That's why I make sure we get there.
No more IR.
See their faces.
Well,
Jalen's on the IR tomorrow.
I'm over.
That's okay. That happens. But he's here now. We can see your face. Let me see your face. There he is.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah.
I know you got something you want to go off on a little later. What time is it? Around 9?
Yeah, I do, man. I'll hold off. Yeah, I'll be in the IR tomorrow, guys. Got a media day, so
all right,
I'll be out of here.
Pull hamstring.
Nick. I'm back, bitches. They're ready.
I had it ready. Let's go.
I'm back, bitches.
There it
I'm
is.
back, bitches. All right, let's go.
Why you
I'm so
say it
fired
like
up.
that?
Woodward Nights. I didn't want to swear.
Say it with
Let's
your
go.
chest.
It's early to
Say
swear.
it with your chest,
I'm
man.
back, bitches. Let's
There we go.
All right, there we go.
It's in the nighttime. Let's go. Let's have a great show, fellas.
Weren't you back yesterday?
Yeah, I know. I was just doubling down on it.
I was a little confused.
Back to back.
Somebody said I'd take one day off a week like Ragnow.
Frank
That's
Ragnow,
pretty good.
Oh, rest
That's
day.
pretty
Who
funny.
said that? Who said
Jaylen actually does work the day he's not here. He's got another commitment, but that is a funny comment.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that one.
You just got to make sure you're healthy come showtime.
Minnie Drummond. Oh my gosh.
Minnie Drummond and Detroit Mario.
Here we go, dog.
It's a me, Mario.
All right, brother. We have this graphic here, though. First one I want to pull up.
Pull up. Oh,
Is
man.
this tweet that I saw, because there's been these things, and if you guys didn't see, today there was new news that came out in regards to the Michigan stuff. Michigan actually officially turned in reports of Ohio State, Purdue, and Rutgers, all three of them sharing Michigan signs for their games. And at first, when you think about it, in a lot of reports, brother, initially you're like, okay, they're just sharing signs, no big deal. But when you talk about a competitive disadvantage and you start talking about money, and when you get to that high level, like I know there's lower levels that do it, high school does it, but when you get to this level, there's a lot of money involved, there's competitive advantages involved, there's a lot of things on the line when it comes to going to the college football playoffs, winning Big Ten championships. So if you have a team like Ohio State, who last year was sitting on the outside of the college football playoffs looking in, and they're trying to find a way because they can't play themselves in, and they're trying to find a way to get into the college football playoffs, and they have stolen signs from Rutgers or whoever it is, and Michigan's playing Purdue, guess what Ohio State's going to do?
What?
They're going to cheat. I guess not cheat, but morally cheat, and they're going to hand over the signs to Purdue and say, here's our signs, go beat Michigan for us so we can get into the college football playoffs. Here's a tweet. I don't remember the name here. When we pull this up, I'll see the name here. But of someone bringing up a very, very solid point, brother. I showed it to you before the show.
Dollar bills involved.
In regards to some money, because when you start, let me see. Was it in there? Let me check real quick. It should be in there. Maybe it didn't go through. It's the David Schuster one. So if you want to throw that David Schuster one up, per David Schuster, who this is a guy, he's been kind of, he's not connected to any place, but he's been kind of covering it. Former MSNBC, I believe, reporter, former Michigan alum, obviously, so kind of you don't know how much to believe. But he came out and said, in 2022, Ohio State football coach Ryan Day was looking at a $200,000 bonus to reach the college football playoffs. So he had technically a financial incentive, Broder, to collude with Purdue and give Michigan signals before the Big Ten championship game. A Michigan loss would have guaranteed Ohio State a playoff spot. Obviously, they still got in. They weren't expected to get in because of things that happened in the Pac-12, Broder, and the Big 12 and things that happened. But I think now, thinking about it that way, and I'm sure that's how Michigan's been thinking about this whole thing, is, hey, they're sharing things with other teams to beat us. That can't happen. You can't have guys, us not getting signals, and you guys over there sharing these signs and all these different things just to take us down. That starts to where that's the moral thing, and I think that's the thing where you look at it, and that happens all around the college football landscape. But when a guy like Ryan Day calls Michigan out for doing something just in a different way,
that's where it gets.
That's when you start going, okay, if one of you guys want to snitch, because we all had a
snitches get stitches.
We're gonna break it down, and that's why I've been saying this a lot, Broder. There's a reason you haven't heard an SEC school come out and talk, or a coach when asked about it talk about it. At least I haven't. If you have, please share with me on Twitter. Yeah. I have not seen an SEC coach talk about it because they know, hey, we all do this. Let's take a step back here. Yeah. What is your thought on all this?
Yeah, I mean, my thought, it's less about the rules, and we'll find out soon what rules were broken by what schools, blah, blah, whether it's Michigan, whether it's Ohio State, whoever. But what this tells me, just from a football perspective, is Ohio State and some of these other teams were clearly scared of Michigan leading into this year, leading into last year, that Michigan's started to do well. Michigan started to dominate Ohio State in the last few games. They're looking for ways around the rule. I don't want to paint judgment on Ohio State or on any other school if they didn't actually break a rule, but trying to find ways around the rules or to bend them a little bit to go and try to get in the advantage you can against Michigan. Again, if they didn't break any rules, that's fine. That almost tells the story of all this. And I'm not saying this to defend Michigan. I'm just saying, man, like it is going on. And just from a football standpoint, they're scared of Michigan right now. They're scared of Jim Harbaugh.
That's why Ryan Day's the biggest.
What?
I would say that's why this all started.
I just muted myself like in live time.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what? You just stopped. You just like cut off.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But Shane Daniel here. Shout out Shane Daniel. He's in the chat all the time. But he said, but this is all speculation. Actually, Shane, at this point, it is not speculation because Michigan has turned over evidence to the Big Ten per reports today. They turned over reports to the Big Ten with the actual sign stealing. They have documents of Michigan signs that other schools have had.
But were they stolen illegally, like against the rules?
Even if it's not illegally, though, that's the thing. It's like that's the thing. You remember, like,
but that is the opposite argument, though.
But you remember? Well, that's the problem that's happening. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying this as well. Is that a couple of weeks ago, all of the people who were going at Michigan were like, "Oh, well, it's not that they stole it illegally, but it's just that the fact that they're morally doing this and that." And now this stuff is coming out, they're like, well, and they're trying to change it back to what they were saying before. Like, it's just the people who are going at Michigan and trying to take Michigan down, they're changing their argument as it fits them. It's a clear kind of, smear campaign. Yeah. And everything I'm reading, even like big publications that are putting this out, are saying like, this is a smear campaign where you're putting like what they were saying a couple weeks ago. Now they're changing it to fit their narrative this week because these signs have come out and they literally have the evidence shown that Big Ten schools had been sharing and taking Michigan signs and sharing it with each other so they can beat them, so they can't get in the college football playoffs. Yeah. Like that is. I can't remember who it was in the chat said if that's true, that's even worse for Ohio State. It's almost on that level a little bit to where it's like, if you're sharing your signs so that team can beat Michigan so you can get in and you can get financial benefits, that's a problem. Right. That comes down to an issue. Right. At this level, that's where the money's at.
From a moral standpoint, from a competitive on-field standpoint. But and granted, guys, I'm a Michigan fan, but if they didn't break any rules doing this, I don't know what the end goal of that is. It's proving Ryan Day is shady or Rutgers, Ohio State, Purdue are doing maybe shady things, but if they didn't actually break the rules, we're comparing two different things. And yes, to me, they're very similar and there's not much difference, but one, if the Michigan allegations are breaking a rule, these don't appear to be yet. Yes. Yeah. So now, but the financial part of that's where just the rules in general. This is almost a different story. Like that's where the rules need to be fixed and cleared up so that this can happen. Because I didn't think about the financial incentives of a coach making the playoffs, winning the Big Ten, winning the college football playoff. Yeah. That's a big payday.
$20,000.
I forgot about that motivational side of it. And if Ryan Day is willing to hire his brother for, he's got $200K extra from last year just by them getting in anyway.
And I don't know, man. What I'm hearing as well, Booner sources, some people that I do actually trust online, is that Michigan does have a lot of evidence left, and they can slowly put it out, and they're slowly going to. This Ohio State, Purdue, Rutgers thing that they submitted to the Big Ten is not the only thing that they have.
That's a very good point. I don't think they would have this stand. I don't think Santa Ono and the Regents would stand this tall in support of Harbaugh, in support of the program, if they didn't have more than that.
Yeah,
so I don't want they got something in their back pocket.
I don't want to sit there and say that I know that they have stuff, but from the report, people that I trust and I kind of see there, I do know that there are things potentially that can be rolled out and will be if there is a suspension, if there's different things. Before we go to break, I know we're starting to get a little
that was a good little conversation.
This whole Connor Stallions thing, the vacuum repair.
Oh yeah,
can you run us through that, because this is wild.
Just real quick, and I saw this just before he came, but and if you know more, sort of help me guide through it. But apparently Connor Stallions, before he even left the Marines, he bought like a almost $500,000 house, and then like his neighbors were complaining that he had like all these vacuums out on his like front deck, and he was using his house as like a vacuum repair business, like, which is against the homeowners association rules. And there's this whole thing to it, but I don't know whether to laugh or what to think of this. Stallions it says in a letter written in response to a summons in October 2022, he wrote, "I suspect that whoever has chosen to sue me either 1, doesn't like the fact that I'm a veteran, or 2, is a Michigan State fan and knows I'm a Michigan football coach and wants to draw my attention away. He had one Spartan fan in mind, someone named Jeff, who lived down the street and had his son attending Michigan
This is
State."
wild.
It just keeps getting wild. And I don't want anyone to take... there's more to this story. I don't know how much is...
Do you want me to throw out the one that I
throw it out, because I just don't want people to get the wrong idea. This is just getting crazier.
So today, this story came out, and in the report that's going around on Twitter of the company... It's not just Connor Stallion's name that's on the company as the owner. It's also Blake Corum's name on the company as one of the owners. And then there was media that, and I don't know how true this is, there's media today that spoke with Blake Corum and said, hey, like, what do you know about this? And Blake was like, I had no clue about this. I am not in a business with Connor Stallions. My lawyers are contacting people right now, and we are figuring this out right now. So
isn't that crazy?
First of all, if that's true, and he has his business and he put Blake Corum's name on it, he is nuts for that. And second of all, if it's not true, that just means Twitter's just making up some wild story.
Which they are. Like, that's why you got to be careful believing everything, including. I mean, we verify as much as we can leading in, but
this I don't know how true
so crazy. Like, it's hard to believe. So take it for what it is. I think that's the last time we're going to talk about Michigan this episode of Woodward Nights.
It is. It's like every day I told Broder this. Like every day, like, we're like, well, all right, well, let's not talk about the Michigan stuff. But then something even crazier comes out. I know. And you have to touch on it a little bit. All right, I'm going to tell you guys about Woodward and Maine, and when we come back, we're going to talk some Detroit Lions. We'll talk a little bit about that Chargers game last night, because they are playing them on Sunday. But Woodward and Maine, they are back on Sunday from 7 to 8 a.m. and then 8 to 9 a.m. and then Tuesday from 7 to 8 a.m. That is the Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show, hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, our own here, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. For all the insider scoop you guys need before the game on Sunday, make sure you guys tune into that from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right, let's talk about it. It is Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports Network. That is Michigan-grown, family-owned. Bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. They have everything. Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X-Plows, and Salters. They literally, Outdoor Equipment Co. has it all. You can buy it. You can rent it. That is 0% financing. Delivery right to your doorstep. That is right above me, OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, we are back. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all locking in. If you're watching from the YouTube channel, make sure you guys hit that like button for us real quick if you haven't. And if you're on woodwardsports.com, appreciate you guys locking in with us. Share the stream if you guys haven't as well. But, Broder, let's get into it here.
Let's get into it. I'm just having a little catch.
We'll make 2 out of 1 here real quick. Let's just start with the injuries, and then we'll end it with the Chargers last night game, and that'll lead us into the game.
2 at the same time, synchronized swimmers.
Oh, all right, Lil Wayne. But the injury report. We spoke about it yesterday. The question we had yesterday, actually, was Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, and David Montgomery. Dan Campbell came out yesterday, and he said, listen, today was our not an off day, but we're not practicing. Tomorrow we're going full pads. We'll see if they're ready to go. Guess what, fellas?
What?
Those 3 guys were all out at practice today. Broder was out there as well, just not with pads. Broder, how did they look?
Yeah, I was wearing pads.
Did the boys look ready to go?
They looked ready to go.
Let's go.
They looked ready to go. It was the first we were walking out, us walking with John Macaroon to the dock. We're like, all right, let's find, where's Ragnow? Where's Jonah? Where's David Montgomery? All there going through warm-up drills, practicing. It looked like they were full go. I cannot confirm that for you because we only get to watch the first 15, 20 minutes of practice, and there was no official practice injury report that came out, but they looked good to go. David Montgomery definitely looked good to go. He was doing some running back drills to warm up that we saw, and he looks like his body's moving well. Again, I don't know, a rib injury. There could be other things to it that we can't see from our eyes, but they all look like they're going to be playing this Sunday against the Chargers. I think that's great news, especially after seeing their defense. The Chargers' defense play really well against the Jets last night. Yeah. Not that the Jets' offense is anything to write home about, but having Ragnow back especially, then getting Jonah Jackson back to be the enforcer in that run game. Having David Montgomery, we want to see what they're going to do with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. It's going to be fun this weekend, having the whole squad back together.
100%. You know what I want to go back to real quick? I want to go back to about, let's say, 4 weeks ago. I spoke about this a little bit yesterday. That laundry list of players hurt. So many. All these guys on IR, no practice, limited practice, just coming off an injury. There was, at one point, I think there was it felt like there was 15 guys on the injury report. From what I took away from today, the injury report and guys, I believe I heard that there was no one that didn't. Unless they were on the IR, every single player was out there going.
All 53 men on the active roster were out there. Including Trevor Nowoski.
Shout out Trevor, too. It's his birthday today, I believe.
Happy birthday. There's a reaction.
Yep.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, my guy.
Yeah!
Maybe we can get him this week. Tomorrow's their off day. I can see. But
Saginaw Valley, baby.
The thing is with that, I saw someone tweet it out as well. I can't remember who it was, but I'm giving credit, but I can't remember who it was.
Do it.
But they said that this is the healthiest that the Lions have been since training camp. You basically have a training camp roster right now. Everyone is healthy. There's really no one that's super injured that you're sitting there and you're a little bit worried. These guys are a full go. And yes, in the next couple of weeks, we all know, and make sure you guys prepare yourself, there will be more injuries the next few weeks. But if you could stay as healthy as possible, right now what we're coming out of the bye with, I'm very confident in this football team. And that excites me, because if you end up getting the 1 seed, Broder, and you get a bye, or even if you're locked in at the 2 seed in week 17 and you have a week 18 bye, look what the bye did for the Lions here. It got everyone healthy. Think about at the end of the season at week 18, or if you get the 1 seed and get a bye, everyone's back healthy for a playoff run.
Definitely. And there were a couple different reports out. It might have been Doc Macaroons with the Detroit Sports Podcast on Twitter.
Shout out.
Reported that. He definitely reported all 53 Detroit Lions accounted for at Tuesday practice. So shout out Doc Macaroon. But you're right. there are 3 games, starting with the Chargers game, the 3 games in 12 days with that Thanksgiving game against the Packers coming up. So getting healthy, yes, that's the first step. That is the most important step. Now it's doing everything they can in this stretch to not only win games, but stay healthy. Because we want these guys, like Dan Campbell said, going into December, playing their best football. I almost said basketball. Playing their best football going into December. And that's this stretch here. We got to stay healthy. This a tough game against the Chargers. I will say in easier games against the Bears and the Packers, but games that are in division, they're at home, and you're gonna be getting their best effort. You do have, whatever that means.
You do have a great stretch of football. Like, you could take advantage of this, and like I heard Neil talking about it today on BDE, and he was like, whether you win or lose this Chargers game, after that, the stretch of football you have, you can go out there and get to 9 wins with 3 losses, or you can almost get to 10 wins with 3 losses. Like, that is like, this is a legit possibility to where you're able to sit there and you can look at the schedule and be like, there's no reason you shouldn't be 10-3. And that's how I'm looking at it right now as well. I did want to mention as well too, I saw Donovan Peoples-Jones was out there. It looked good. I saw couple clips of him running around and doing routes. He looked really good.
He's our biggest receiver now.
I love that. We have a big body dude. I love that.
Yeah, and that's what he's going to be able to provide, whether it's in the red zone or being a little more of a deep threat than Marvin Jones was at this time in his career. Marvin Jones, that is. Donovan Peoples-Jones, as long as he still gets health, or as long as whenever he gets in a rhythm, whenever he gets a hold of this offense, which might be this weekend, he's going to be one that will really help. I believe will really help this team. Will really help this offense, provide just another reliable option alongside Josh Reynolds, alongside Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta, but it'll let now your weapons. Who do you guard? Like you got Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs out there at the same time. You also got David Montgomery. It's going to be a matchup nightmare, and having someone reliable, also a downfield threat like Donovan Peoples-Jones is huge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still interested to see. I'm interested on Sunday to see what happens as well with Donovan Peoples-Jones and J-Mo. I want to see that dynamic. I truly believe, I'll keep saying this until they prove me wrong, I think this takes a little pressure off J-Mo to where you're able, like, who was it that said they need to throw him in the slot a little bit? We posted it on Woodward Sports. Herman Moore.
Yeah. I've been saying it for weeks, but Herman Moore is the popular. No, I have.
That's awesome.
No. Actually, months. But
I think it opens up more doors for J-Mo to where it's like, all right, now we have Donovan Peoples-Jones. We don't have to force J-Mo into this position. Yeah. Let's do this. Like, find something to fit him in, and it takes pressure off him to where we don't have to sit here and be like, hey, we need to get J-Mo the ball 8 times. We need to figure this out. Like, people, like the fans, everyone, just like step back, let J-Mo just develop into who he is.
And you don't have to worry about his one touch, his one target being a downfield throw, a contested catch. And I know he's dropped a couple, but those are difficult plays anyway, even when he is catching them. Get him the ball 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. Give him the ball on a screen pass. Just let him, like a free throw or like making a layup in a basketball game when a shooter's cold. Like, just let him feel the ball, feel catching the ball. Once he gets it, man, he is so fast. I put out another tweet of Jamison Williams just running a route, and it's doing pretty well. But he is so fast. He just got to get the ball in his hands, not rely on just a deep ball. That's an option, but dude, he's got so much more to his game. They got to use it.
Two things here real quick in the chat, in the Woodward Sports chat. Burgosaurus said, do we have an ETA on CJ GJ? I don't believe there's an actual ETA, but I think that's just like expecting it first playoff game.
Yeah, like there were rumors in December. I kind of doubt that, or it would have to be end of December. My guess is that it would be the first playoff game, regardless of if they have a bye. I think the way the schedule's kind of or the way the timing's looking from his injury, I think he could probably use that extra week.
That's my thing.
Just having whether it's one more week to get healthy or one more week to get in shape from the week before getting healthy. So my guess is that's part of their strategy in terms of how they want to go for the 1 seed. They want it to have two home games, have one home game before the NFC Championship, but also that allows guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson to get healthy.
And that's the thing. I don't want him to come back too early. Like, let's not rush him back to December just so we get him in. Another thing here too, kind of in the injury report here, I did see someone, I think it was Peaceful Tim, said James Houston won't play until December. I think that's the truth there, but just knowing that, like, for a guy like him instead of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you're able to get him back in December. And if you can get him going, especially with like the way that this defensive line's been, that's an injury to where you have to get through December is in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a little middle December, 5 weeks. and you're sitting there and you just get through 4 or 5 more games here, and if you can go 4-1, 3-1 in that stretch and get James Houston back to body up that defensive line, this team's scary, Broder.
It's scary, man. But Mike G says, "Shout out Broder and Booner. Y'all don't lose. I don't lose.
You're with me.
It's always Booner doesn't lose. I'm in that group, baby. Let's go. Let's see what's going on in this chat. We do need to get to break actually. Mike Killen doesn't necessarily trust JMO so far quite yet, which I understand. Double reverse Gibbs and JMO Williams settle. Let's go. I'm all for it, man.
Let's do it. Hey, when we come back, before you tell us there about Mark White, when we come back, we are going to get in a little bit Lions-Chargers. We're going to break down the game a little bit. I wrote down a lot of questions here for you, Broder, and put some facts, a couple notes here with some stats about this Chargers team. And you probably already saw them, but I wanted to present to the people. I didn't,
actually.
Okay, perfect.
I kept my eyes off those.
Love it. I have some stuff then to share with you and some questions for you about this as well, this game. So tell us about Mark White.
I'll tell you about Mark White because when you're buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. So sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement for any reason at any time with no penalty? That's exactly what you can do with the Mark White & Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement. Check them out at markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242 like Jackie Robinson. markwhitesells.com where flexibility meets success.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Just in time for football, glorious. Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check us out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
All right, we are back. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. We appreciate you guys locking in with us. Beautiful back wall again. I still can't get over how great this new back wall it is.
Love it.
Even in person, it's that much better. Don't break it. We don't need to break that. All right, welcome back to it, guys. Hey, we're gonna get into it here. Lions, Chargers. It is game week officially. Chargers played last night versus the Jets, and Broder, I don't know about you. Everyone in the chat, I don't know how you guys felt. I felt like this was an ugly football game.
It was ugly.
I know it was 27-7 or 6, or I don't even know. It just felt like everything, both sides.
It feels like the Jets defense dominated the game, but they lost by 21 points.
Yeah.
It was one of the weirdest Monday Night Football games of all time. I didn't watch the fourth quarter, but I woke up and I checked out the stats, and I was like, Zach Wilson had 0 interceptions, like 0 touchdowns. Justin Herbert had 163 yards passing.
At one point in the third quarter, Justin Herbert had 80-something passing yards, and they were up like 17-6.
Like, what?
It was just an ugly game all around. The only thing, I mean, at least that I took out of that game, one, obviously, Keenan Allen is Keenan Allen. He's a dog. But outside of him, that Chargers defensive line, Broder, I think that's where, when you're looking at this game here on Sunday, I think that's the only way that this Chargers team has a chance to win is their defensive line. But the best part about it is on the other side of the ball, the Detroit Lions have the best offensive line in the NFL.
And they're healthy.
And they're fully healthy. And even when they weren't fully healthy, they still had the number one offensive line in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So that's where I look at this and I'm like, okay, they last night had 8 sacks versus the Jets. 8 sacks. These guys dominated. They're not going to do that versus the Detroit Lions. There is no way, no chance that they do that, especially when you have a veteran quarterback more as Jared Goff instead of a Zach Wilson who's just falling into the hands of these guys.
I agree with you. I don't think they're going to, but I don't want to underestimate the Chargers' defensive line. The defensive front seven. I mean, when you got Bosa and Khalil Mack, they got guys who on any given day, any given Sunday, any given game, they can get to the quarterback. So it is a matchup. It's some strength on strength, and you're right. They need to get to Jared Goff and make him pressure and make him throw the ball quick. Not let him get to his second and third read. Not let his accuracy shine by having time where he can get the ball to Amon-Ra or Sam Laporta where they want it. They got to take it right from the Baltimore Ravens, right from that game. Pressure Jared Goff, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, and you probably win the game.
And I wrote this down. Joey Bosa so far on the season, 6.5 stats. Khalil Mack, 9 sacks. Those are 2 elite dudes.
Yeah.
You've gone up against like a Max Crosby. That was really the only like big time guy you've gone up against this year.
Vita Vea.
Sunday, Vita Vea, yeah, which he did.
He's on a different level.
Yeah. But these 2 guys together are Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. You haven't had 2 guys like that.
No.
The good thing for you though is you have Penei Sewell on one side and you have Taylor Decker on the other, and then you have dudes in between them. Mm-hmm. And you have those guys to be able to stop that. Which the Chargers offensive line, what do they have? Rashawn Slater? Only guy on their offensive line I think that I can name.
He's very good, but he didn't blow me away last night. Like no. He's not like he's having some sensational year. But yes, he is probably their best offensive lineman. They got Zion Johnson at left guard, Will Clapp at center, Jamari Salyer at right guard, and Trey Pipkins the third at right tackle. So yeah, they're that's the area where you want to attack. I know Rashawn Slater is one of the best tackles in the game, but you want to go just like we were just talking about, making it uncomfortable for Justin Herbert or for Jared Goff. You want to do the same thing to Justin Herbert. You need Aiden Hutchinson to show up. You need a Lee McNeil to have the same type of games that he's been having, getting that pressure. I think Hutch is going to have a monster one.
Are you looking at the prep right now? Do you have it open?
Yeah.
Don't have to though. Don't, because I put a number in there. Have you seen the number yet?
I haven't.
Have you seen what the spread is?
Okay. At one point, I think I saw the Lions were favored by 2.5 or something.
2.5.
Is that what it is?
Right now, they are favored by 2.5. That to me, a little not shocking.
Home dog.
But it's a home dog. I do take home dogs a lot, so that does make me nervous. But at the same time, the Detroit Lions are on the road versus a team like the Los Angeles Chargers, and they're a 2.5 point favorite. That right there shows me that the Vegas believes that this is a good football team. I want to get your thought. Like, are you nervous, scared, confident? I know other shows have already spoke about a little bit. Like, is it a confidence game, or some people I've heard already say that they're a little worried about this game and you have to take it seriously. Like, where are you at? I know take it seriously might not be the word, but like,
I know what you're saying.
It's like, hey, this might be a game you could drop. You have like it's Justin Herbert at the end of the day.
Yeah, like I'm not scared. I don't know if nervous is the right word, but I think it is a game you have to take seriously. The Chargers, I don't believe in them, but they're a team that literally can beat anybody in the league. Like I don't believe that the Panthers could beat anybody in the league. I think the Chargers, you have a Sunday, they could go toe-to-toe with the Ravens or the Eagles. I don't think they're better than those two, but you got to go, especially with your divisional games coming up, and I know the NFC North is down. You got to go take care of these games. I think Neil used the term a spot game, which I really liked how he explained it. I'm not going to be able to regurgitate it, but it's one of those that does prove that you're part of that. Yeah, that consistent. I don't want to say consistently elite, but you're part of that tier of teams that are going to be competing near the top of the division week in and year in and year out.
I love that point because as you were saying that before it came out of your mouth, pause. I was looking. I had to say Paul. I said something earlier today that was brought to my attention. Look at the schedule, though.
Yes.
If you want to be a part of these elite teams, and we keep talking about, do you want to be a contender? Like, what do you want to? Where is this Lions team? Can they go to the NFC Championship? Can they compete for a Super Bowl? Look at the teams that they've lost to.
The Chargers.
The Chargers, yes.
They've had some bad losses.
The Miami Dolphins, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs. Take away that Titans game. I'm just looking at 3 of their 4 losses are to teams that around the league people are saying these are contenders. Mm-hmm. So the only teams they've won, the Vikings, not a contender. Raiders, not a contender. Bears, not a contender. Jets, not a contender. Every contender and every team that's supposed to be something this year that they've played, they've lost to. So you can't go into there, you can't go into LA, and you can't go in there and lay an egg and say, oh no, yeah, we can afford to drop this one, and you end up letting this one slip away. This is one you have to go get, because all these other teams that have contended and have shown that they're on that next tier to go win a Super Bowl, that's what you're trying to get to. They all went and took care of business versus the Chargers. You have to go do the same. That's how I'm looking at this game. I'm not going to say I'm nervous, or I'm not going to say, oh, it's an easy win. But you better be damn ready to go in there and compete with those guys. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, no, I got a question for you. And I was having dinner with my dad today, and he asked me this at the dinner table. And when it came out, I thought it was going to be an easy answer, but I had to think about it for a second. So I'll ask you, if the Lions come out of this next 3-game stretch at 2-1, how do you feel? Are you cool with that?
I'll say I'm cool with that if they beat the Saints the next week.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. The next 3 games, you start adding that, then it's a little bit easier to make this pick. It's tricky, right? Like
it is.
You don't
fine
think
with that.
They should lose any one of these games.
No, but I'm fine with that.
They'd be 8-3 coming out of this. After Thanksgiving, they go into December 8-3. Like, that's pretty good.
That's great.
But you don't want them to lose to the Chargers or any of the other 2 teams, obviously.
No, I think we're just starting to get this expectation, and people are starting to everyone's starting to think like the schedule's so easy, you shouldn't lose a game. There's going to be losses. Like, it's guaranteed. You're probably going to lose 1 or 2. Maybe you could lose 3 more.
That's what Neil was saying with the spot game, how this is one that it's a tough, difficult game. It's one of those that you might just lose.
Do you remember what I said last week?
What?
There's 4 games left in this season. This is a 4-game season to me. This game, on the road versus the Chargers, on the road versus the New Orleans Saints, on the road versus the Cowboys, and then either one of the 2 on the road versus the Vikings or Bears. It's a 4-game season. Those 4 road games, those are those spot games that we're talking about, to where in that 4-game stretch, are you okay with going 2-2 and winning the rest?
No.
2-2 and winning the rest of the games. So finishing the season at 13-4.
Yeah, well, see, there's the thing. You're right. Yes, I would be totally fine with that.
Those other games, Green Bay at home.
Dang, that's hard.
Bears at home. Vikings, I believe, at home, you should win that game, and then maybe that Bears game or Vikings game on the road. Let's say you go 1-1 with that stretch, and then you have that 3 games where they're playoff teams, the Chargers, Saints, and Cowboys, where you're on the road. Say you drop one of those. Mm-hmm. Then you're like, okay, we're still in a decent position.
It's tough because I think I don't. They should win every single game, but they're not going to. They're going to drop at least 1, maybe 2. But it's hard to pick against them. And looking at the schedule, it's hard to pick against them. That's what makes this difficult. Nick, what are you thinking?
Yeah, that's a great question posed by your pops there. But they're going to be favorites in these Bears and Packer game at home by at least a touchdown. So those are games that you are going to win or should win 95 times out of 100. So that's basically just giving up this Charger game in my eyes. So I would say no, I would not take the 2-1 because I think this is completely a winnable game in LA going against a Justin Herbert team that hasn't been what they were thought to be this year, and the Lions coming back all healthy now. I mean, I'm expecting to win this game in LA. I would not take the 2-1 predicament there.
I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, me too.
I know we talk about the injury report and getting the team healthy a lot. To have it finally be a possibility where we get to see a maybe completely healthy offensive line and all the weapons.
Guess what? Jared Goff back in LA technically.
Oh yeah.
Guess what? Amon-Ra St. Brown back in his hometown.
And guess what?
the Oregon Ducks.
The Oregon Ducks. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
Penei and Justin Herbert.
Penei Sewell and Justin Herbert. This is their first game competing together as professionals. They were they played at Oregon together. They remember, I think they were top five team that year. Maybe lost in the college football playoff or something. They had there we go, Ducks in a row. So check that out. Herbert had a really good quote about Penei Sewell. What?
I thought the Red Wings scored when he yelled like that.
Oh no! That's
a
how
penalty.
When Jaylen does elite things, I get just as excited. But yeah, so I won't read through this whole thing. There's some pretty good stats, but yeah, Penei Sewell and Justin Herbert. I sort of forgot that they played together. It feels like they've both been in the NFL for 5 or 6 years.
2-0 Rangers.
Oh, dude,
it's all right,
dude.
We're still in this game.
That's why we need to go to a break.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to a break. I want to real quick in the chat. I want to see kind of your guys' opinion. Jaylen, can we actually we'll wait during the break. We'll put the poll up, and we'll basically just ask how confident are you in this game, kind of on a scale of 1 to 10 here. So we want to kind of get your guys' feelings on this game. But when we come back, we're going to talk a little Aiden Hutchinson, fellas. Hutch. Second half of the season, what are we expecting out of him? I'm interested to see what the people have to say. Broder, I'm interested to see what you have to say about this.
Oh, are you?
Because I said 15 sacks to start the year, and he is way behind that.
Yeah.
He's on track for about 9. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah, John Scott Jr., defensive line coach, talked about him a lot today, but we'll get into it about Aiden. But let me first tell you about Feldman Chevrolet, because since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and reliable car buying experience. They call it the Feldman Advantage. They have 18 locations, so there's got to be a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports. They're live every other Monday at their Novi location. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. Now, Booner, tell them.
Yes! We're talking about defense coming out of the break, and guess what about this defense? Guardian Alarm. It is customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. That is 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them any day or night and know that a Guardian Alarm team member, they will stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology that is backed by people, where your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. That is Guardian Alarm. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has been providing Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry-aged beef, and Wagyu beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. They got T-bones, they got sirloins, they got New York strips, they got everything. Filet, they got filet. Anything you could ever want, do it. Or order to go at fairwaypacking.com. Check them out.
And we are back. It is the Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Detroit Lions. Red Wings right now a little brutal. They're down 3-0, but it is all right. We're talking some Lions tonight. It is game week. The whole week without a Lions game, no stream, at least for me. I know we got the day off, Broder, but I do look forward to those streams. Sitting there with the boys, D-Mac going with the bets. Like, it's just great time for me. I have a blast doing it, and I make a lot of money doing that. So
I've only been able to be a part of 2 of them. One was a win opening night against Kansas City. That was fun.
That was a fun one.
Week 2 was away at Baltimore.
As much as people might not think, I do enjoy drinking the Kool-Aid. I know the videos look like I hate it. I don't even know if we showed the most recent one. We'll do that tomorrow. I'll show the most recent one. But like, I went to go yell. There's so much Kool-Aid in me. I went to go yell and nothing came out, and just Kool-Aid like came out of my mouth. It was just like, and then I yelled after. It was just, and I threw up after. Like I like, it was just, it did not go down right. But it was a great video. I made for a great video.
Sounds like
that's nasty.
So I hope you guys like the Kool-Aid videos, because I do go through a little bit the last couple times I've done it. Because it's like, dude, you can't chug that fat. At least I can't. I'm gonna try to this week.
Have you ever seen Beer Fest?
Yes.
Das Boot?
The boot. Yeah. You have to like turn it.
Yeah.
You have to get the the bubble correct. Yeah. Great movie, by the way. I might watch that tonight.
Classic.
I'm still going through Blue Mountain State, so I can't do that tonight. I've got plans already.
Wings are looking sloppy. Who said that? That was Colton's cardboard. 3-0. 10 minutes to go in the second. Brutal. New York Rangers are up. Shout out Jacob Trouba. Vayner Sports client also, like Aiden Hutchinson and Ali McNeil and Jack Fox, Josh Dobbs.
Do they sign media people?
Pardon?
Do they sign media people? Can they be
as the emergency goalie?
No, I'm saying, can Vayner sign me as their agency?
Oh,
I need an agent.
Maybe check out the careers section on their website.
Okay, I'll do that. I need an agent. Unless you want to be my agent.
I'd love to.
Okay, locked in. All right, let's talk about it. Aiden Hutchinson, expectations. Right now, at the moment, he has 4.5 sacks. He has done a few things, obviously the interceptions, fumble recoveries, forced fumbles, all of that. He has made plays. He has made an impact. That is not a question at all. I don't think we're going to sit up here and Broder, I'm not going to speak for you, but I have a feeling that you're not going to sit up here and say Hutch has not performed to the level that he has been playing very, very well. The only thing he hasn't really done is kind of finish and get the sacks, which that isn't the end all be all. And I have a few questions for you. The first thing I want to throw out this. Right now, this is all per PFF. He currently is the 7th best edge rusher with the 90.0 edge rushing grade.
So I'll let you keep going, but that's impressive AF to me. Continue.
It is 7th in the NFL, 3rd in the NFL in pressures currently with 46. The only 2 players he is behind right now, Broder, is Max Crosby and Micah Parsons. Only 2 guys, and obviously he has 4.5 sacks, which puts him very, very far back from some guys, and those guys are at 10. So to me, and I'll start us off with this because it's like, all right, how many can he finish with? I obviously gave out the prediction. When I look back at it now, I'm like, okay, 15 might have been a little bit of a stretch.
It wasn't outrageous for you to say, though, before the season.
Okay. I want to make sure. It felt like, looking back, I'm like 4.5 halfway through the year. And on track for 9. 15 is a lot.
And, not to predict this isn't a Broder guarantee, but with the schedule coming up, he could run off 2-3 in a couple games. Khalil Mack had 6 in a game.
So that's where my mindset was going to go with the second half is you have the longer half now, the 9 game stretch is coming up, not the 8. You played 8. These teams, a lot of these guys that are sitting here with 10 sacks, like a TJ Watt, I don't have the full list, but there's about 5 or 6 guys at 10. Those guys, some of them already have played their 9th game. Mm-hmm. So Aiden Hutchinson, he could easily go off for 10 in the second half of the year.
Yeah, without a doubt.
He is leading the league, or 3rd in the league in pressures. He can go out there and get 10 and still get 14.5, 15 sacks. I'm not leaving that off the table.
Yeah.
But what I want to ask you, and I'll tell you my prediction here.
Please.
Do you have a new sack total? I know the sack is an end all be all, but that's like the number people want to look at. Do you have a new total that you like that you want to throw out there?
We're just talking about sacks so much. I don't know if I have a total. I don't know. See, it's hard. And John Scott Jr., the defensive line coach for the Lions, was talking about this today. It's hard to really. You can't just grade Aiden Hutchinson on sack numbers. Like if you actually watch the film, Aiden Hutchinson is being double or triple teamed almost every time. He's actually making a difference on the defense. I'm not saying he's played perfect for this first stretch. There's some things he needs to clean up and get better at. But when I look at the rush defense is what, top 2, top 3 in the league. Yep. Like the defense in general is improved. Yes, it could even get better, but he's doing things that I believe are opening things up for his teammates. I just don't think his teammates have taken advantage of it. If he had a little help, I don't know if he would have 5 or 6 more sacks, but he might have 2 or 3. So the fact that he's this well-rounded, and it's not just the interception stats and the forced fumble, but when you talk about pressures, when you talked about PFF rankings, like whatever rankings it is, he's near the top of all of them. And to say that while having what we feel like is a down year with only a few sacks. That to me is I'm optimistic about that going into the second half, not just because of their schedule, but if they are getting healthy, if they are continuing to develop, whether James Houston comes back or not, if these guys are getting better, that bodes well for Aiden Hutchinson, wherever he's coming off the edge or on the inside. You just need these other guys to step up too.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly well said.
Thank you.
And I think the line coach, I'm forgetting his name here.
John Scott Jr.
John Scott Jr.
from Penn State.
That point he makes there, it's, hey, Hutch is doing stuff. The sacks totals don't really matter. And I know that's a conversation we all have had preseason. And that's really, Broder, that's like even like Defensive Player of the Year. When they look at these guys, that they look at that.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. But when it comes to actually as a team, you're not going to sit there and be like, oh, Hutch has 4.5 sacks. He hasn't done anything this year. And there are some people, wild people, who will sit up here and say that like if he doesn't get sacks, he's having a bad year.
Yeah, it's not the case.
Because I still think he's having a better season than Kayvon Thibodeau, and Kayvon Thibodeau has 8.5 sacks.
And he's 807 by far a better season. Yeah. Sacks are what get you paid, though. Sacks are what make the headlines. So there is
Sack
something
gets you
to
Defensive
that.
Player of the Year.
Yeah, yes, that too. And we're about to talk about that. But that doesn't. Not having sacks doesn't mean you're playing poorly.
Yes,
you know
I
agree.
Saying? Yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah,
because he makes such a think about the deflections he has. Think about like these pressures. He's third in the league in pressures. I know people are tired of hearing about pressures, but like you're putting pressure on the quarter. You're disrupting the game. The quarterback's having to change his game because of you, and you're doing that the most times in the NFL than anyone around the NFL. That is a big stat. Don't let people tell you that that's not a good stat. That is a stat, and that's something good. Because if they were going to sit there and tell you that sacks are a good one, that's a good one too, because they're disrupting the play.
Yes.
And that's how I look at it.
And multiple games where he hasn't had a sack, the Lions also haven't had a sack. Outside of this last game against the Raiders, I believe it was, where he had 0, but they had 5 or 6. Until then, when he didn't have sacks, the other team was, or his other teammates were getting sacks, and that's what can't happen. Because he's still, like you said, he's at the top of the league in pressures. He's still getting there, and if he's taking on 2 or 3, let's just say if he's taking on 2 blockers, that means his teammates aren't winning their one-on-one matchups. They aren't running their tricks, their stunts. They aren't running their stunts correctly, or they aren't running it quick enough. If he's taking on 2, these other guys got to win their one-on-ones. And not to call, Charles Harris hasn't done that yet. Levi Ozarike hasn't done that. Josh Paschal, Ali McNeil wasn't doing that much in the beginning of the season. He started to pick it up a little bit, but again, his role isn't just to go get the quarterback. He's trying to set a wall for that run game, for that defensive line.
Do you know who's doing it more often than the other edge rushers? Is the linebackers and the defensive tackles.
You're right.
Those are the guys that are there. Like when Hutch is getting the pressure on, Alim McNeil is the one that has 4 sacks as well, and he's right there when Hutch gets pressure. When Hutch gets pressure, Alex Anzalone is coming around the other side, and he's hitting the quarterback. Same with the safeties. Tracy Walker has a sack this year. These guys have that because Hutch is putting that pressure on and making a move, and then those guys are getting that. The other edge rushers, time to step up.
And this
like
is
if
why
you guys want to do something this year, you have to step up and you have to make plays.
Yes.
That is a done fact. Like the Detroit Lions won't go to the NFC Championship, won't have a chance at a Super Bowl if these guys do not step up. They will not, because you're going to get in the game versus the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts will cut you up. That's exactly what will happen.
100%. And this is why there was so much interest in the Chase Young or Montez Sweat, or just going out and making a move at the deadline because of this. Because now the Lions are relying on these players to step up. The good thing is they believe in these guys. They didn't make a move because they expect this to happen. They expect John Scott Jr. to develop this line so that both with the guys coming back healthy and just the development of guys like Roderick Martin and Benito Jones. Like,
damn,
that's what they're relying on. 4-0 Rangers.
5-0. That's
5?
5, yeah. Can we throw up real quick, Jaylen? Can you throw up the Defensive Player of the Year odds real quick? Because I do want to let this be like show real quick. Because in next segment, this is going to kind of lead into next segment. We're going to talk about mid-season awards. But this right here, if you want to talk about how Hutch isn't in the conversation anymore with these high-end DNs and these high-end players, right now I would say there's tier 1, and we're basing this off the odds because the odds are pretty pretty freaking close when it comes down to it. So let's say tier 1 edge rushers, right, Broder?
Yeah.
Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. I don't know why Max Crosby. I told you before the show the big difference here.
That's amazing.
I already placed a bet on Max Crosby today.
And
the fact he's 33-1 right now, and he probably is the leader of this award, is nuts.
Can you explain why there's so much of a gap between TJ Watt and Max Crosby?
Promise you, I have no clue.
I think he's in that.
He's
group.
leading the league. He has 10 sacks just like those guys. I could not tell you.
I mean,
maybe it's because their team hasn't been winning. That's the only thing I could think of.
The Raiders are 4-5, right?
Yes.
They didn't play very good against the Lions. I don't think they're a good team, but they're 4-5, so they've won a couple games, and Pierce is now as their coach. Like, who knows what their season could end up like?
I bet it.
If I were a betting man, that looks good to me. 33, whatever.
His last game was crazy too. Like
3 sacks.
His last game was insane. And he said it too. He was like, come watch, and he literally teed off.
I would put a Randy Johnson on Max Crosby winning that for 10? Sure. Yeah, a big unit for sure.
Is that 10? Randy Johnson at 10?
What is a big unit? 100?
I mean, it just depends. Yeah, a unit is just whatever. For everyone.
I got it, Broder.
Yeah, just a big one.
It's just a unit is your own unit. Everyone has a different unit.
Got you. So whatever your unit is, make it a Randy Johnson.
Bro, Jalen's giving me a thumbs down.
Oh, he was making like a nickname joke.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's his nickname.
I don't know what's going on.
Randy Johnson's nickname is the big unit.
Name.
Okay.
So he's like 6'11", throwing from the left side.
He killed a bird on TV before.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
He played for the Tigers?
No, he's on the Mariners,
the Tigers Diamondbacks, throw a bird?
The D-backs.
Okay. Yeah. I did see that video, though. But the thing with this, before we go to break, though, just with this, and if you guys don't think Aiden Hutchinson is on that elite list or is at that level, I can guarantee you he is. There is that tier 1 of guys, and you saw it on this list. Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Max Crosby. Aiden Hutchinson's right under there with Daniil Hunter.
I'd be okay if Aiden was that jump from Max Crosby to Aiden.
That's where I thought it originally was when I was going to pull it up. And when I saw that, I was like, I was shocked.
Because I love Aiden. I think he's very close to being in that tier. I probably put him just a niche below. Those top guys are there's something else. There's something different.
All right. Let's do that, brother. Let's go to break. When we come back, we are going to talk about the PFF. They came out with their midseason rankings. Me and Broder are going to kind of break those down a little bit, and we will give you guys who we think should win each award as well. Excuse me. But I'm going to tell you guys about Planet Fitness. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $10 a month, no commitment. $10? No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area, and there are thousands worldwide. Throughout the world. That's crazy. Make sure you guys go check out Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
So when it comes to your pet, don't settle you got to give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply because they're hands down Michigan's best pet store. They're family owned and operated for over 30 years. They got 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, the lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Again, Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
All right, we're back. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. It is on the Woodward Sports channel, woodwardsports.com, everything. Make sure you guys watch it. Like the stream if you guys haven't already. I was just looking. Can we break the last show's likes?
What'd they get?
96 right now.
Oh, we got to.
Can we get over 100 by the end of the show? Let's beat out the heavyweights. Let's do it. That's the competition.
So we need at least 30 more.
The family, but the competition. So if you guys, let's get over 100. Let's do it by 9:30, and then we can keep building off that. Make sure you guys share the stream as well to family, friends. Post it on social, all of that. Brother, we're getting into this though. This is the most exciting part I had of the actually second. The power rankings.
Yeah, those are one of my favorites of the week.
But it's the basically the mid-season awards, and the PFF, they had a graphic here that they threw out. And Jaylen, you can just throw it up whenever, and we'll kind of read off of it a little bit here. But they put out a graphic for every single mid-season award. You see it right there. They have, for the most valuable player, they have the one, the only Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Offensive player of the year, they have Tyreek Hill. Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett. You see at the bottom there, offensive rookie of the year, CJ Stroud. The next one, defensive rookie of the year, Jaylen Carter. Comeback player of the year, DeMar Hamlin. And then the one, the man, Dan Campbell,
Motor City,
the head coach of the year at the halfway point so far. So, Broder, me and you, let's break this thing down real quick. Go through every single one. Who do you think should be in the spot? You actually did an article about this in ranking your top three, so this will be a little bit easier for you. For me, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's why I want you to go first because mine is actually pretty similar, and I'll let you know where mine differs or where my second and thirds are. So, Booner, let me see. What do you think of Lamar Jackson being the MVP?
So I've been pretty vocal on this. I don't think at this point. I think this is where, and I actually thought about this today. I think Lamar Jackson has the best chance of winning it because he can put the numbers up. As of right now, though, I don't think he's put those MVP. Like, if you look at his last MVP, I don't think he's put those numbers up to where you could do that. That defense he's had, and I keep hearing this argument with Patrick Mahomes that, Patrick Mahomes has the defense to back him. That Ravens defense has been the best defense in the NFL. Like, they have been elite the last 2 weeks. They've held the Detroit Lions, a top 5 offense, and the Seattle Seahawks, a top 7 offense or top 10 offense, to 9 points total in 2 weeks. 9 points total. That's nuts. And Lamar, last week's win versus Seattle, guess how many touchdowns he had?
0.0.
And there it is. And that's where I'm like, okay.
You pressed that drop button, didn't you?
When I think about an MVP, and this is where this year right now, no one stands out to me. When I think about the NFL MVP, I think of a dude that's just out there just dominating. Every week he's going out there and getting 2, 3, 4 touchdowns, throwing for 300 yards, rushing for 50. I think of a guy that dominates like Patrick Mahomes has in the past. I have no one has done that this year. My midseason award MVP will go to Patrick Mahomes still right now.
Okay.
I think he has the numbers. He's 7-2. Yes, he has the defense to back it up, but he has the numbers that is there to prove it. Number 2, I'll probably go Lamar Jackson. I'll probably go Jalen Hurts, and then my last one, I would go CJ Stroud at number 4.
And you say numbers, not to call you up, but to me, Patrick Mahomes' numbers are down a little bit.
They are.
It's more the intent, the optics around. Game. Yeah, he literally only has Travis Kelce.
Compare his total yards to Lamar's total yards or Jalen Hurts' total yards.
True.
He's still up there, and he still has a lot of touchdowns.
Russell Wilson's ahead of all of them, and he's nowhere near the MVP.
Yeah, but his team isn't 7-2.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about the numbers.
I do think this is crazy. I know I was vocal on this before the season. As bad as this MVP race is compared to the past, no one's really standing out. This could be a year.
A non-quarterback?
That an A.J. Brown or a Myles Garrett hops in and does that.
Do you think, and I won't take up too much time with this, you just got my head swirling. Like, do you think A.J. Brown could win it if his quarterback's also in the mix? Like, or would it need to be a Myles Garrett, a Christian McCaffrey who doesn't have the quarterback where that award normally goes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think you could talk about that's a great point.
That's a good one.
Let's have that conversation maybe tomorrow or another day of the week. Yeah. But it's Thursday. An interesting one,
Do it Thursday.
we'll do it Thursday.
We'll do it Thursday. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's a good point. Who's your MVP though? Then.
So I had Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is my MVP, and there's a little bit of prediction involved in that too, because I think his stats aren't there because Todd Monken has been such a smart offensive coordinator and stuck with their new game plan of getting him comfortable in the pocket, getting their offense running with him, not running, pun intended running, but like getting their offense moving, rolling with him in the pocket. And that led to some ugly games at the beginning of the season, both from Lamar, both from his receiving core. So I do think he's a little behind statistically from a passer, but for them to now be where they're at, to look as good as they do, and to think how good he passed against the Lions when they played. I think Lamar could end up with his best year ever.
I agree. I do think that that's what I'm saying is I think by the end of the year Lamar Jackson can go do that. I just want to see him really just look back at those numbers he had his MVP year. Insane. I want to see that again. I want to see that Lamar, and I want to see them do it all over again. Offensive Player of the Year though. Mm-hmm. They have Tyreek Hill.
Interesting.
I want you to go first on this one.
Yeah,
Who do you have?
So I had Christian McCaffrey as my number one.
The same thing as well.
And that's even with him being slowed down. He's got a bleak injury the last couple of weeks. It really hasn't slowed him down a ton. The 49ers have lost 3 games in these last 3 weeks, but I still think what he's doing in that offense is perfect for him. That offensive line is perfect. As long as he's healthy, I think he's going to have pretty incredible stats at the end of the season. A touchdown a game for sure.
That's where I kind of I changed it a little bit. Is he has about 100 less all-purpose yards than Tyreek Hill. Tyreek's been going off, but he also has about 13 touchdowns to Tyreek's 9, and it's just all assets of the game. He's literally that team right now. Like Brock Purdy, without Christian McCaffrey, he literally didn't lose a game until a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I know Brock Purdy didn't, but that man scores every game. He literally is their team. Yeah. Without him, you're nothing. So I'm a Christian McCaffrey guy.
And also nothing against Tyreek. He was my number 2, and A.J. Brown was my number 3.
Those are the 3 right now that are in the race. Yeah. Those are the 3 dogs in the race
right now. How about Booner?
How about go to anyone?
Oh, sorry. How about for you, Defensive Player of the Year? I know. Hiccup. PFF had Myles Garrett as the Defensive Player of the Year. Do you agree or disagree?
Man, I want to. I don't know if I should do this or not.
Do it, dude. Do it. Peer pressure. Just do it. Yes.
I'm going to stick to my normal. I'm going to stick to who my preseason Defensive Player of the Year.
Which was?
The best defensive player in the NFL.
Aiden?
No.
Brant Branch?
TJ Watt.
TJ.
I'm going to stick with him. I'm going to ride that one out until the end because I said that to start the year. Mid-season, I'll stick with him. He is right there. It's basically just him, Myles Garrett. And I saw someone actually mention it. Danielle Hunter is not getting the love that he should be. He's leading the league in sacks right now at 10.
Wasn't he 6th on that list of your odds?
Yeah, and I think earlier I said a lot of guys have 10. He is actually solo with 10.
He's getting himself paid.
Yeah, he is.
He's getting that contract next. But I actually don't have TJ Watt in my top 3.
That's nuts.
Why?
He has an interception. He has a touch. I'm pretty sure he has a fumble recovery for a touchdown. He has 3 forced fumbles. He has 3 fumble recoveries.
He's really good.
No one else has done that.
No.
He's literally the only one that's put up those numbers.
True.
And he's the only reason the Steelers are good right now.
I don't know about that.
He is the only reason. He is that deep.
Yeah, no, that's part of it. Yeah, no,
this is a disrespect about TJ Watt that I don't like.
No, he's incredible. I'm not trying to.
He should be top 3 no matter what.
I'm putting Garrett, Parsons, and Max Crosby ahead of him. Sorry, dude. I get the point. He might have better stats.
What has Micah Parsons done?
Epic things. He's the one keeping the Cowboys in.
He has 7.5 sacks. He has no interceptions. He has 1 forced fumble. What has he really done?
Without Parsons,
besides his name.
Without Parsons, the Cowboys. This is a defensive player. The Cowboys win. They may have 3 wins.
I don't like that one.
You don't have to like it. No one has to agree with me.
Walk out of here.
Yeah, walk out.
There's no way.
Everyone quits when they aren't agreed with. Just quit then.
Brother, there is no way on this earth that right now Micah Parsons is having a better year than TJ Watt.
I personally think so.
TJ Watt should be up there either, but hey.
He's the best defensive player in the league statistically wise.
I'm pretty sure you asked for my opinion.
I did, but we can have disagree. I can go at it. Yeah, we can go at it a little bit.
Yeah, walk out then.
Well, you made me a little mad there. That's disrespectful.
No, hey,
That's crazy.
What do you
Miles
think? What do you
Garrett,
think,
Parsons,
Broder?
Crosby. What?
No, explain. Let Broder go. Broder's he.
No, I just think he's
You already
more.
explained it, so
He's more important to the Cowboys. I know it's tough because
TJ Watt. With no TJ Watt, the Steelers are done for the year. With no Micah Parsons, Dallas is fine.
I disagree with that.
They still will make the playoffs.
I disagree with that. I think he makes that team go. He makes that offense go when he plays defense. You talked about it for weeks.
I have.
At the beginning of the season, you're like, the Dallas is the one team that they need to get their offense off the field so their defense can get on the field and make a difference.
But that was with Trayvon Diggs. And in fair point, Joe Westfall, Micah gets pressures. Weren't you just talking about that?
Facts.
That is a fair point. But he is still not as good as TJ Watt.
Yeah, it's a valid opinion. I'm not disagreeing. I mean, I'm disagreeing with the ranking.
I
But
do love that
allowed.
Max Crosby's in your top 3.
Yeah, 100%.
He deserves to be there.
Why isn't Max Crosby in your top 3?
Because my top 3 is full.
Who is it? Who's in your top 3?
I didn't even go in my top 3. TJ Watt, 1. Max Crosby is in my top 3. TJ Watt, Matt. Whoa. No, don't even do that.
Making up the list as we go, eh?
I mean, what are we doing here? This is 2 versus 1 over here.
What? I didn't even say a word. Nick's
just laughing.
This is nuts. Max Crosby is on my list. He's my
good.
top 3.
He should be.
He should be, yes.
I'm just here so I don't get
Have I
fined.
said he was not on at all?
Oh man, that was funny.
Did I ever say he was not? And what did I do before the show?
You use the bathroom?
No, what did I place? A bet on Max Crosby to win Defensive Player of the Year because I believe he's right up there with TJ Watt.
No, because he's plus 3,300. I would place the bet on him if I could.
What did I say? Right now, he should be tied for the lead of Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
How is he not there on the bets?
Yeah.
So he is in my top 3. So
He's
you guys
in the
laughing
mix.
at me for saying Max Crosby? No more laughing at me about that.
Let me see your notes. Where's your top 3 ranking?
Actually, in my notes right here, I didn't put any. I'm going off going off my dome here.
Yeah, fair.
But my notes, I have a whole bet slip that shows that I have Max Crosby in my top 3 because I believe he can win it because he's 33-1 and I put the bet on.
Fair.
All right, move on from that.
Power rankings. No, we want to
already that time. Oh,
let's finish we'll go through them quick on the break. We got to finish these because that was fun.
All right. Let's just go. Who do you have Offensive Rookie of the Year? I think we have the same for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
This one is the easiest one.
CJ Stroud?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm actually interested in your 2 and your 3.
For Offensive Rookie of the Year?
And actually, I don't want me to put you on the spot like that. What about the 2 and 3 that I have? Puka Nacua at number 2, wide receiver Rams, and Jahmyr Gibbs. I had him at number 3.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that award's over though.
And CJ Stroud.
I know we had a conversation a couple days ago about Jahmyr Gibbs having that chance. I put a tweet out as well. CJ Stroud took that over.
Yes.
It's a lock.
Last one before we get to break. Defensive Rookie of the Year. What are your thoughts on Jaylen Carter, PFS? Jaylen Carter, their Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I think you can have a conversation about Devon Witherspoon.
Yeah,
that's what I think there's a legit conversation that you can be had to that. Like, it just depends on where you're at, how you want to look at it. I do think there's a legit conversation, though. And guess who's third in that votes right now, or on the sports book?
Who?
Brian Branch.
Oh, that's who I got at number 3. Hell yeah.
He's third. So that's
what's missing 2 games, too.
Where's Will Anderson? Yeah. Where's that man at?
He doesn't have the sacks.
The legend.
He doesn't have the sacks.
Everyone talked about Will Anderson.
He's having a decent year. Just he's not getting to the quarterback.
That's fair. All right, let's go to break. We'll do our power rankings when we do come back. We will do that. But let me tell you guys, I'm gonna go double here. I'm gonna go 2. Lions pregame show, Woodward Sports Lions pregame show. It is Jeff Iafrady, as always, Hollywood, from 9:30 to 11:30 on Sundays. Make sure you guys tune into that. I will be on the desk this week with him. Different special guest every week at home games as well. That is everything you need to know for the game. Injury report, breakdown of the game, everything you need, score predictions. We have it all there on the Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And then, if you guys want to watch the game, head over to Hamlin Pub. That is Hamlin Pub. But have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just a place for you. Head over to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you are joining or enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports events and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place to be. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite place for all things sports.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Do you have football on the brain? Well, fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is already awesome. It's also the perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance, so do it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. So ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com or call 248-800-4177. Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate you guys all locking in with us on a Tuesday night. That is right. There's nothing going on besides Mac Shin. Red Wings are down 5-0, so that doesn't really matter right now. We'll get back to them a little bit later. Make sure if you guys haven't already, hit that like button. Let's get over 100 here. Let's beat the heavyweights out with the likes. Let's do that thing. Let's get that at the end of by the end of this segment, and then we'll go for 125. Detroit Dabber in the Woodward Sports YouTube chat said Booner has the Max Crosby manifesto. Listen, I think we can all agree Max Crosby is that guy.
He has 35 solo tackles compared to TJ Watt's 15.
Yeah, what does he have?
35 tackles compared to TJ Watt's 15.
Solo?
Yeah. Damn. TJ Watt's got him in a couple other categories.
Well,
I'm just calling out the one.
I'm pretty sure, though, Max Crosby is leading every edge rusher by a mile.
Oh, it's by a mile.
In tackles. Yeah. He's out there. That's why I think this year he gets it, dude. 33-1 is nuts to me.
They need to win a couple more games, but yep.
I think, yeah. What's the number? 8 wins? He wins it?
Yeah.
All right. Love it. Get a wild card spot. All right, let's do it. NFL Power Rankings. We are going over ours. We're doing it a different way this week. Usually, we go back and forth. Today, what we did you send your tweet in?
Oh, yeah.
So we sent our tweets in, and we're going to, we tweeted out our top 10. We're going to throw it up there, and each of us are going to break ours down a little bit. Morning Show does it a little bit like that, and it seemed like that's an easier way so that people can actually see what we have instead of forgetting where we're at.
Yeah, 10 gig, it's a lot of things to remember.
It is. All right, let's do that. Jaylen, are you able to throw mine up? Can you do like the side-by-side a little bit with that?
Yeah.
Like if our faces could be on it, it'd be even better.
I'll just do Booners for now.
Yeah, just do
That's
Booners.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll go through mine, then we'll do Broders, and then we'll talk about both of them and compare them a little bit here.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
1 second.
Hey, and you guys can start going at my list all you want. I do know there's a couple crazy things on this, and I know when I made this. Yes, when I made this, I knew I was gonna have a couple questions about it. But I'm gonna start with my number 10 team, the Cleveland Browns. Listen, Broder. The Browns, I believe they just beat the Cardinals like 26-0.
27.
They don't have Deshaun Watson, but I still think this is a team that, at the end of the day, they're a legit football team. And you know what it comes down to? What did we just talk about last segment?
Max Crosby.
That defense. It comes down to Myles
That
Garrett.
defense has been special. Led by Jim
Schwartz?
Schwartz, baby. I was going to say Caldwell. Jeez.
You threw me off a little bit. Number 9, though, you guys see up there, I have the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs over in Germany. I had to drop them down. And you know what's crazy where I had them last week? I had them at number 2. And you know what I came over the realization with on Sunday morning? Watching that game? They're frauds.
You think so?
Miami Dolphins are frauds. I put them down to 9. I need them to prove to me that they can do something. They have not really beaten a good team. I think every team over 500 they've played, I think they have lost. They have not beat an over 500 team. I'm right now, Dolphins have to prove something to me. They have to show me what they can do because they've lost every big matchup they've had, and they've had a couple now, and they have shown they can do it. Next one I have, number 8.
Back there is not real.
My bad, Boot. Had to get that in there.
Okay.
They are not real.
That's what she said.
Number 8, I have the Dallas Cowboys, though, 5-3 right now. Coming off a loss to the Eagles, I didn't want to drop them out at all. And to be honest, I'm frank, I had them outside of my top 10 this last week. And I put them in my top 10 off of a loss. But the reason behind that is just because they should have won that game versus the Eagles. That should have been the thing.
They should have. Micah Parsons is talented.
He is. What do I have there next? Number 7, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously on a bye. Were they on a bye? Yes.
Yeah.
They were on a bye. Left them. Didn't move them at all. I had them at 7 last week.
Tyler Chauvet, and I agree with him. I don't disagree with the ranking, but I agree. It's just weird seeing San Francisco so low.
It is.
Like they were just number 1, like by a wide margin. So sorry, a little commentary.
No, you're good. It feels very, very weird.
Yeah.
The screen. Look how big you are to me.
I know, well, it's just like
You're
reality. It's real size. It's scaled down perfectly.
I like that a little bit better there. There we go. That one's best.
See, Jaylen's doing elite things.
He is. He's getting it done. I love it. All right, so my 7, 49ers, I had them at 7 last week, bye week. Number 6 last week as well. I had the Detroit Lions at my number 6. I kept them packed. Number 5, this is where things started to mix up a little because last week I had the Jags at number 4. I moved the Jags down to number 5. Bye week, I get it, but the thing is the Chiefs, they did beat the Miami Dolphins at the end of the day. They were out there and they won a game. Jags didn't. They didn't play, but they went and beat a fraud team, which is considered they're a playoff team at the end of the day. Yeah. They have some elite weapons. Tyreek Hill,
the Jags
Jaylen Waddle.
jumped the Lions.
No, last week I had the Lions at 6 as well.
Okay, and you had the Jags at 5
I had the Jags
last week?
at 4.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So the Chiefs jumped the Jags. Sorry.
Because of their win versus the Dolphins. So now I have the Chiefs at 4 because of that. Number 3, this is where people are probably going to be like, Booner, what are you doing? This is where I start to get there. And let me be very frank with everyone. If you guys haven't watched this Bengals team, you cannot have a rankings and you can't comment on this if you haven't watched this Bengals team the last 4 weeks. This Bengals team has been one of the best teams in football. They have won 4 straight games, 3 of those teams being the Seahawks, who the Lions lost to, the Buffalo Bills, and the San Francisco 49ers, who are all on this list right now, besides the Seahawks, who are probably 11 on my list. So this team has been dominating. They haven't just went out there and just won close games. They have dominated in these games. They are back to that Bengals team that looked like they went to the Super Bowl, and they're right back to where they were, a Super Bowl contender again after starting the season 1-3. If you have not watched this Bengals team, you can't comment on this just because you're looking at the record. You have to watch this team to know what I'm talking about. Broder, I'm sure you feel a little bit of the same way with this Bengals team. I hope so, at least with your list.
Yeah, I don't have them this high, but they look great.
They look great.
I'm factoring in.
I see them beating a lot of those teams. If they played the Chiefs right now, they beat the Chiefs. That's where I'm at with it. Eagles, number 2, obviously. So now I had the Eagles. This is where my mix-up was as well. Eagles were my number 1 team last week, Broder. Dropped them down to number 2 because I think that this Baltimore Ravens team is just that good. They have dominated the last 2 weeks versus 2 teams that are in a lot of people's top 10s with the Seahawks and the Detroit Lions, and they've only given up 9 points in that 2-week span. They're sitting there at 7-2, and they have had the most dominating wins in football. They have had one of the best defenses in football, and their offense and running game has been one of the best in football. And as we all know, Lamar Jackson's in that MVP conversation again.
MVP.
Ravens should be number 1 on everyone's list. I watched the morning show this morning. I don't know if they put Ravens, if anyone put Ravens at 1. Feel like everyone should have the Ravens
there
at
were
number
a couple
1.
Eagles. It's hard to argue if someone puts the Eagles up.
But the Eagles almost should have lost to the Dallas Cowboys.
True, and
if you watch those games, if you watch both games, we watched the Ravens game together at Sticks. Ravens looked way better than the Eagles did versus the Cowboys.
True.
Way better.
But I still see 8-1 and a very, very, very good team.
And Tyler Chauvet put Bengals, quality over quantity. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. They have beat very good teams.
If you're looking at just last week, you could make an argument that the Bengals should be second, but there is a little wider.
Ooh, this is cool. ETN RC1422. It sounds like an Xbox name. Ravens play the Bengals next Thursday. That will be a great game. That's my 1-3 matchup.
That's a good one.
Number 1 versus number 3 matchup for me, boys. I'm ready for that.
I thought you were going to read this. Since 2021, the Bengals are 14-2 after the bye, and my head wasn't working with that math. I don't know how that's possible. How you have 16 games after the bye
in the last two years?
Unless he meant it somewhere else.
16 games in the last 2 years. That would be 8-8.
Oh, just since the last bye?
What?
After the bye, the last 2 weeks. So there are 8 games after the bye last year.
Oh, okay.
And then their game, or however many games after the bye, if wherever their bye
Bengals
falls.
like rest. They like to hibernate. Hibernate in the winter.
Slow start, finish strong.
Should we take a quick break before we get into this, or should I power through it? I can be quick.
No, I don't want you to be quick. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll do Broders, and then we'll do the national media one.
Cool.
And Jaylen, can we throw a poll up? Just
Inception, baby.
Yo, this is crazy.
Can
we throw a poll up? Just grade Booner's power rankings A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. I got to get off the screen though first. There we go.
There we go. Let's go, Jaylen.
I gotta tell you about Dispo.
Dispo, baby.
Smoking that reefer. Dispo Dispensary. Experience Dispo Romeo, a team that curates an exclusive atmosphere made with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. They are the only cannabis mall of its kind. Excuse me, the first ever cannabis mall of its kind. Located off Van Dyke and 32 Mile Road in Romeo. Dispo Romeo is now open late, Monday through Saturday till midnight. Can it get any better than that? No siree, it cannot. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. Look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Syntron. Check them out at drinksyntron.com/Vegas. Hoorah. Hoorah.
Syntron, baby. I love Syntron. Hey, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports channel. We appreciate you guys locking in with us. We are 6 likes away from 100. If you guys can hit that like button for us, let's get over 100. Let's beat the heavyweights.
Please.
I don't know what they're at now, but let's beat them what they had live, and we'll catch them totally here. So we appreciate you guys for that. Share the stream a little bit. Tell some people about the show, but we're getting into it here. We're going to do here, I just did my power rankings. Jen, if you want to throw that poll up for the people, and then Broder, let's kind of go over yours here as well. We'll lock that in. Let's see what you have here.
You'll have to let me know when you see them, like where the differences are, because I can't remember.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't. It's going to get...
I'm pumped.
Get a little frazzled. Littering and litter. Look at that. Okay, so at number 10... I got the Dallas Cowboys at 5-3. They did just lose to the Eagles, so I moved them down. They were my number 8 team last week, moving them down from 8 to 10. I still think with Michael Parsons and that defense, Deron Bland, forgot about him. Trayvon Diggs is out. Deron Bland is playing. He's having a year. I got Dallas Cowboys at number 10. I'm moving the Browns up. They had just missed my cut last week. They were, I think, the first one out. I move them up to number 9, Cleveland Browns. They just beat the Cardinals 27. Nothing special about that win, but another shutout just looks damn good for Jim Schwartz. This is where we have definitely a little bit of discrepancy.
Yeah.
And I get what you're saying with the Bengals at number 3. They look that good. They're playing very well. With Joe Burrow healthy, they can beat anybody in the league.
That's low, man.
I have them at number 8. They got to prove it to me.
What do they need to prove? They beat your number 6 team.
They look so bad at the beginning of the season. They have 3 losses. I only have 1 team higher on my list with, actually, I have 2 teams higher on the, I can look right up here. They just got to show me again.
They beat the team at 6 with the same record as them. They dominated them.
That's fine. And?
They dominated them. And this Miami Dolphins are frauds. They haven't beat a team like the 49ers.
Hey, well, I got the Miami Dolphins as number 7.
Okay. I just want you to say, hey, let's put number 8 above 6 and 7.
No, I have
7, 8, and 9.
There we go. Okay, there we go. I can't argue with that. It's so close. This is my preference, my opinion. To me, they need to prove it. I don't think you're crazy for having them at 3. I think that might be one of the highest I've seen today. But again, I don't think you're crazy. Number 7, Miami Dolphins. Number 6, the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, I moved them down 2 spots on the bye week. I don't know why, but I moved them down.
Moved them down 2
They're just a feeling. Some other teams have jumped up. I have the Jaguars jumping up higher. I got them at number 5, 6 and 2. I was tempted to put them in front of the Lions, but I'm remembering the Jaguars game of last year, and I just think even since that game, I can't put them ahead of the Lions.
Yeah,
they're playing great.
30 ball them.
Yeah, Travis Etienne. Speaking of Etienne in the chat, Travis Etienne is having. I don't have it in my notes, but I think he was in my honorable mention category for Offensive Player of the Year.
Really?
Like 6, 7 down the line. Etienne's having himself a year. Here we go. Detroit Lions. Off the bye week, I have moving up a spot. They're moving up to number 4 at 6 and 2.
Where did you have them before?
5.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's I just have a little more faith in them this week. And some other teams are moving down. The Miami Dolphins moved down. Who's off? Buffalo Bills are off the list. Seattle Seahawks are off the list. This is where it's at. Kansas City Chiefs at number 3. Nice little comeback win there, 7-2. They're 7-2 record at number 3. And I got Philadelphia Eagles at the number 2 team. These were the ones I was thinking.
Those were the same.
Yeah, do I flip them? Do I not? I think the Ravens just look better now. They passed my eye test. So Ravens number 1, Eagles number 2. What are your thoughts?
I know the only thing I like it. I think because if you look at mine, we're pretty similar, right? Like I have the Browns there at number 10. You have them at 9. I have the Cowboys as well in that 8 to 9 range. The Dolphins kind of in that low range as well. Same with the 49ers. The only difference of yours, Broder, is you have the Bengals a little low in my opinion. I just think they beat straight up. Like when you're looking at power rankings, it's like, all right, who's the better team? If a team to me plays them, obviously the Seahawks Lions thing's a little different because they've gone weeks and the Lions have won games after that, all of that. 49ers have lost 3 straight after losing, or they within that 3-game losing streak, one of them was to the Bengals while the Bengals are on a 4-game winning streak. So when I look at that, I'm like, okay, 1-1, 1 + 1 = 2. That's how it is. So that's just where I'm at with that, where I don't think you should have. That's the only disagreement. The 49ers over the Bengals, I don't see a power rankings where that should be a thing.
Fair.
And that just could be me, the way I look at it, to where it's one's on a 3-game losing streak, one's on a 4-game winning streak, and the one team dominated the other team. So it's all right, that's the only disagreement I think we have in the whole thing, because the rest were basically lockstep.
You sold me pretty well on that. I did these alone. It'd be interesting. If I were talking through this with you, with people, you may have sold me to move them up higher, but just for me right now, that's where I got them.
And the Seahawks, too, that's a team I see a lot of people put in here, too. That's a team that's not on either of ours, but that loss really hurt.
Yeah, they're just...
It's the same, the Lions. We dropped the Lions, but they were lower on my thing already.
Yeah. They were my first team off the list. I think they'll be in the playoffs, and I don't want to play them. I think the Seahawks are a good team, but the Ravens...
I do want to go over Broder. National. I'm going to go over 2 of them.
Perfect.
Pete Prisco. I know you guys all love. Oh, Booner, Pete Prisco. You guys,
PD!
I love my guy Pete right now because he respects the Detroit Lions now. That's all we ask for. A little bit of a respect around the city here. Jaylen, you want to throw up the Pete Prisco rankings? I believe he had the Lions last week at 6. I think he kept them at 6. And look who he has above the Lions. Those Bengals.
Oh, come on. So we know it's crazy that the Bengals are that high.
Yep.
He also has That's interesting. You got the Jaguars at 3?
At 3. I think he's a Jag. I think he might be one of those guys who, before the season, he writes about certain teams, this is how this team's going to do. So when he does his power rankings, he tries to base it off of what he wrote about. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
to help his narrative.
Yeah, a college coach wants to get a $200,000 bonus. He wants to get another college team into the playoffs or out of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's going to take signs and he's going to kind of cheat a little bit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I think that's kind of a Pete Prisco.
Fair.
Just a couple scumbags.
Petey.
Shout out to Pete, though. Right now, you're not a scumbag. You're my guy.
9. Bill's still on there at number 10?
That was surprising. You know me, I've been a Bills guy. That is way off. Bills should be at 15 right now.
Yeah, they're
Bills are down.
Just another city in Montana.
I took the Bills off again so that I can motivate them for another win. Every time I've taken them off, they've won a game.
Hey.
Maybe I'll just leave them off the rest of the year.
McDermott.
Other guy, too, I wanted to bring up, too, because I know the people, if you guys have tuned into our show a lot, Pete Prisco is one we've talked about a lot. But a couple weeks back, when the Detroit Lions went on that 4-game winning streak, and all of the NFL, everyone's power rankings, people were putting the Detroit Lions in the top 3. There was only one person who kind of said, nope, they're not up there, and they had the Detroit Lions at 8. After a 4-game winning streak. Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated. Jaylen, if you want to throw Connor Orr's up here, it's the number 6 one. Connor Orr came out, and it's one of the most bizarre things, Broder. The last 4 weeks, or 3 weeks or so, he has kept the Detroit Lions he has kept them basically at number 8. Do you not see?
So he moved him So he moved him down. Or they were ranked high, moved him down to 8 when everyone else moved him up.
Yeah,
and held them there for multiple weeks.
Yeah, so what he did is he had them at 8 the last 3 weeks. Won games, lost games, kept them at 8. The Detroit Lions go on a bye, and this guy Connor Orr decides, you know what? Let me move the Detroit Lions up 2 spots to the number 6 overall spot. One of the most bizarre things of all time.
And a bye week, he moves them up.
I don't know how to feel about Connor Orr.
I don't know. I was trying to think of something clever there. I don't know what to think either.
A lot of clowns in the chat. That's Broder. Sorry.
It could be related to another famous Connor, Stallions.
Maybe he's in a
or related to Bobby
business.
Yeah, he could be.
Might be in a vacuum business.
Interesting.
It is.
Well, at least Pete Prisco isn't as much of a PD. He was those rankings at the beginning of the season. Pete was the original bozo.
Yeah, he still is a little bit.
A little bit, but at least he's showing a little respect.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's do this. Let's head over to break. When we do come back,
Big boy,
we're going to talk, I think, it's actually going to be a surprise. We'll talk to you guys when we come back.
Surprise!
Let me tell you guys about Big Boy then. It is wintertime in Detroit. Is always better with comfort food from Big Boys. Try the veal Parmesan, it looks like, or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. I have not tried this yet. I will be going to Big Boy to try both of these. I'll give you guys a rating and tell you guys how it is. How about breakfast? The stuffed baked potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe garden. Also, new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. How about this? This whole new lineup from Big Boy. If you haven't tried it yet, go try this new Big Boy lineup. This is amazing. Stop by your local Big Boy today for all of this down-home comfort food. Potato pancakes, baby. That's Big Boy.
Potato.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Downtown's newest sports bar, 5 Iron Golf. They got 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and a full bar and restaurant. You have a chance to compete nationwide to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. Just bring a foursome or sign up as an individual to be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. Use code Woodward10 for 30% off the league. That is, again, 5irongolf.com.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights. I apologize, but we are back. Football, everything. We are back. Appreciate you guys all locking in. Where are we at with likes? 101. Let's get to 125. Appreciate you guys all getting us to 100. I don't know if we beat the heavies out. We'll go double check and get the numbers on that. But we appreciate you guys a ton. You guys,
we are the heavyweights.
You guys are our family. We appreciate you guys locking in with us every day. We're gonna go back to segments here though, real quick, because we did cut it off early to go into power rankings. The rest of the Player of the Year awards.
There were two that were interesting,
and there was one that I know me and Jaylen spoke about it a little bit. I was kind of already planning on coming in and saying like, I don't know about this, but the Comeback Player of the Year,
the Kim Kardashian Award.
I don't want this to be like a political.
Make a disclaimer.
Yeah, I don't want this to be like a political thing or anything.
This is nothing. We're not taking. Disclaimer, this segment, this is nothing against the human being that is Damar Hamlin.
Because first of all, Damar Hamlin is a great human. The things that happened with him, I remember where I was, everything during that game. But Comeback Player of the Year, I said before the show, I think I would give it to a Tua Tagovailoa. I mispronounced his name.
No, that's good.
And the reason is Tua went through that, and I know Damar, and I don't know how bad this sounds. But like Damar had that situation on the field that the whole world saw, and it was a huge story, and it's the worst. But with Tua, he did have a situation to where no one knew if he was as well going to play football again with the head injury, and he is right now an MVP candidate.
Yeah,
that turnaround to me as well, and I don't want to take away from Damar's as well because he did come out and play and all of that, but. I personally, the Tua thing, the fact that he's an MVP candidate, and 12 months ago they were saying he probably should stop playing football, is bizarre to me. And I think you can give it to either one. I think you can get it. I mean, even I see on here on the list, Lamar Jackson's on the odds, Joshua Dobbs,
what about Breece
Hall, TJ Watt, like these. Yeah. There are guys on this. So
I don't have a true opinion yet. I think he needs to play a little bit more for it to truly be a comeback player. I'm cool with Tua. I kind of like the idea of Breece Hall, maybe even Chase Young. But if you don't mind, Booner, I'm going to defer to my guy Jaylen over here. I think he's got an opinion on this.
Yeah, I made a tweet earlier about it. I'm not as confident on him winning the award. I feel like if he gets an award, he can get like the what's that? The SB award. They like the tribute award, stuff like that. Like him getting the SB, for his comeback and what he went through and things like that. That'd be more ideal for what I think he should get, because that's just like a nationwide thing. In the NFL, he didn't play as much when he was, active. Tua's been around. He's been hurt and banged up. So I think Tua would be a good candidate for it. Damar hasn't played that much this year either. I don't know what his health is right now, but he hasn't really played. So for them to give the award to him, like off the strength of what happened, I don't think it's fair like to the other players, but I do think he deserves like the SB award or something. Yeah. Give him an SB.
He was at the ESPYs last year, and the staff that helped save his life, they won an SB as well.
Yeah, so he should what's the Jimmy V award? I mean, that's like a cancer award, so I don't think he'll get that. But I know like it's something they can give him, or like an appreciation, or anything that he can give. I think he deserves that 100%.
When you look at like the Tua thing, Tua obviously didn't have the situation as Damar did. But he like that head thing when he had like the situation on the field, and they were like, "Hey, he probably shouldn't play anymore." And they had that conversation. I remember Mike McDaniel's coming out, and Tua said, "No, I'm playing football. Like, I'm going to figure this out. We're going to find a way to do it." And he came back, and he's in the MVP conversation.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where I'm at with it. But yeah,
I got
like Jaylen's point. Give it like Damar Hamlin deserves everything. But when it comes to the Comeback Player of the Year, I think that's just where I'm at with it.
Well
Shout out to Damar Hamlin too.
Yeah, it's okay to have that opinion.
Person. Everything I've watched of him, great person.
I'm going to throw a name out that I was brainstorming for a while, like who else that's not in the odds list could we include, and our guy Peaceful Tim in the chat just came up with I think a really good idea. You might have to do some more things the rest of the season to earn it, but what about Tracy Walker? I know he's a safety. It's not as sexy of a position. I don't know. I don't know how much what all goes into comeback player of the year. But I guess Damar Hamlin's a cornerback. Tracy Walker tore his Achilles week 3, I think it was, against the Vikings.
Yep.
He's coming back, and he's been a real player for the Detroit Lions. He's played really well, and it was one of those things with C.J. Gardner-Johnson going down, and Kirby Joseph was injured at the beginning of the season. Like That could have been a major hole for the Lions.
Yeah,
Tracy Walker's filled in.
I don't hate that. He's not on the list at all.
No.
So yeah, I don't hate it. I think
an Achilles injury is.
I think within Detroit, that he's the comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Like when we do our season.
That's a great idea.
We'll do our season end awards obviously at the end of the year. I think in Detroit you can give him that award. For sure.
Why don't we try to get Detroit, the fan base, involved and get him on the list?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't think he gets enough love. And Tracy, how great would it be for Tracy Walker to represent the Lions?
You know what we're going to do on Woodward Nights? We're going to do a Woodward Nights award ceremony at the end of the year, and we're going to have some of the players to where we have trophies for them. There will be there will be awards for the listeners. There will be awards for people. We'll actually do that. We'll figure something out with that, and we'll actually try and get some players involved with it as well. I think we could do that for sure.
We got a couple committed already.
For it? Okay.
Can't tell you who, though.
Yeah, we do. And I bet you I can guarantee you Tracy probably would do something like that as well. I'm sure some guys that would want to do that with us. So we'll do that at the end of the year. I'm actually pumped for that now.
Yeah, that's great.
We'll come up with the name and everything.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do that. All right, let's do it. We're going to go to break. When we come back, as always, mailbag to end the show. Broder, tell us about Les Stanford, though.
Oh, I'll tell you about Les Stanford. Because what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people like Les Stanford. When they added Les Stanford Buick GMC, got the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They're located on Woodward Avenue. We're Woodward Sports. They're located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. You can also check out their flagship location in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. But Booner, tell them.
Lady Jane's! Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Cintron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Cintron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Cintron, and entered to win the Cintron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Cintron today at any Meijer location or visit drinkcintron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday and a couple Sundays for the official Lions VIP tailgate. It'll be at Eastern Market in shed number 5, and it's going to be a bash. It'll be 9:30 a.m. until game time. It is the official Lions tailgate. It's back and it's better than ever. Come hang with Woodward Sports. We got food, we got drinks, we got entertainment, all included. You just got to buy your ticket at bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Yeah. All right, we are back. Excuse me. We are back, though. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We appreciate you guys tuning in on the Woodward Sports Network, as always. And we're getting into it here. We're getting into mailbag. It is that time. The final stretch of the show here. Make sure you guys keep dropping some questions so we don't run out of questions. Let's just keep getting these questions flowing. If we don't get to it, ask it again tomorrow and we'll get back to it again. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get over to 125 likes before the end of mailbag here. Broder, you got any mailbag? Have you found any
mailbag?
Yet?
Denver Blair. Mailbag for the Lions. How do they plan on keep 2 elite pass rushers away and give Goff long enough to get the ball either downfield, or is Monty going to do a comeback ball out game?
I have a plan.
Tell him, Booner.
Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. That's all I.
I think the key too is that now their guards are back, and whether it's Halapulu, Vaitai, or Graham Glasgow at right guard, the fact that they have Ragnow and Jonah Jackson back just makes that entire unit that much stronger. They are, I think, when they're healthy, it is the best offensive line in the NFL. Not saying that the Chargers can't get a couple sacks, they can't make a difference. Not to say the Lions can't have a bad game; those guys are good, but I think they just use it with it. They're talented. They have lots of babies.
Breaking news.
Little studio update here from the 5-0 lead that the New York Rangers have. The Red Wings have cut it to 5-3 with 5 minutes left in this game. Let's see if the Wings can pull this crazy comeback off. That's insane.
Scored? Does DeBrincat get one? I bet on DeBrincat.
Cop just got that third one, I believe.
But do you know, did DeBrincat score?
DeBrincat does not have one as of now. Costin has one and Rasmussen has one.
Shout out the boys.
Shout out the Red Wings.
This is a good one, though. Here, ETN. Who is your guys', and I'll let you go here, Broder. Who is your guys' favorite player in the NFL?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm going to give one on the Lions, and I'll give my NFL one.
Yeah, you go first.
My Detroit Lions one is Aiden Hutchinson. I love Aiden Hutchinson. I think that's just like a Michigan man. I like Aiden Hutchinson. NFL one, Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. I know he's been struggling, but I'm a big Josh Allen fan.
God. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember this. Do either of you guys have one?
Nick, you got it?
My favorite player in the NFL. That's so much pressure.
I'll go.
Okay, go for it.
I'll do my Lions one. J-Mo, that's my Lions one. Him and Brian Branch. And in the NFL right now, oh, man, I thought it was going to be easier than that.
Right?
Ooh. I think mine's McCaffrey, just because I got him in both my fantasy leagues. The 49ers are on a lot of primetime games, so you get to see him a lot. I think it's McCaffrey and Gibbs. I just love seeing him play.
I got mine.
Not Gibbs, St. Brown for Lions.
I got mine. I'll go Joe Burrow. That's what I'll do. I'll go Joe Burrow and Lamar. Those are my two.
Joe Burrow's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm struggling with this. Like, I like so many different players. I'm gonna give an answer before the end of the show.
You can only pick one. I'm only allowed to pick one answer.
I think it's Roquan Smith.
Jaylen gave out 4 guys.
Cook 'em, Boone.
Yeah. I think it's Roquan Smith, and I'm not giving my Lions.
I did, and I'll give him again.
I'm just saying, hey, I can only give out one answer to things.
Yeah.
Around the room here, you guys, everyone.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Pick and choose around here. Not doing that anymore. All
right, Jacob.
William, mailbag. Is Donovan Peoples-Jones going to have a breakout game during the season? Also, is Broderick Martin going to get a sack against the Chargers? Broder, what do you think? I think Donovan Peoples-Jones does. I think he has at least one.
It depends on what a breakout game is. I think he's going to be a valuable part of the offense for the rest of the season. I don't know what a breakout game. I mean, does he get some work in specialty? Does he get a punt return, a kick return, or Khalif's punt return?
I think he actually gets some touches.
Oh yeah, definitely on offense.
I think you might see him score a touchdown in a game and have like 50 yards.
Yeah, but is that a breakout? That's not a breakout to me.
For him, I think you can see him have a DJ Chark game from last year.
See, I hold him to a little higher expectation, but
the DJ Chark was good last year.
Yeah, but I think Donovan Peoples-Jones is better. But you're right, actually. You're not wrong. Let me put some more thought into that.
Yeah, because
that's a good question.
Here's Johnny Booner. Your 3-point live action video was fire. What was that?
What was that?
3-point live action video.
3-point live action video.
I don't know.
Your 3-point highlight tape that was played on the heavies, possibly?
Yeah, maybe that was it. Thank you. Appreciate that, Johnny. That's awesome.
Hey, yo. What is the status of Kabinda? I think he's still out, so he's on the injured reserve because he's not on the active roster. I haven't heard a lot about him lately. I'll do some digging there. I love Kabinda. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, he should be off the IR this week, right?
Oh, I got one.
This is year 4 or week 4.
But what's throwing me off actually is the all 53 men were active today. Like there's no one on the injury list. So I'm like, wait, I don't remember seeing Kabinda, or was he out there? I don't know. Can't give you that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How about this? Lupin's Chocolate. What is your best pitch, Broder? I'm glad you asked, because it's a changeup, and I throw it really funky. And I'm glad. Hey, I got my glove in my mitt here. Perfect. Most people throw a changeup. They call it a circle change, where you kind of see how you have a circle in your. Can you get me on one screen here? Real quick?
I got you, man. Be great.
Normally, pitchers throw a circle change, which is basically like, see how there's a circle here, circle there. You put it right in your palm here, and like jam it in, and you're kind of throwing it with your palm. The way I throw it is I actually split it between my pinky and my ring finger.
Is that uncomfortable?
It's not comfortable.
This is beautiful.
It took
right
me a
now.
while, and I literally throw it just with these 3 fingers. So you're throwing like this, just trying the ball.
Throw it to me real quick.
Run off.
Just don't hit the.
I don't know.
Can we go 2 shot?
I'm worried here.
No, I'll catch it.
Okay.
I promise.
On 2 shot, but yeah, fastball.
Just don't go too hard or it'll hit
No,
the glass.
I'm gonna literally like just lob it to you.
It's like a Johan Santana right there, man.
Yeah, it was one of those things. When I was taught it, the first 15 to 20 times I tried to throw it, the ball went like 20 feet that way, like nowhere near where I was aiming.
Oh, I said Johan.
It was actually old Michigan old Michigan pitcher who I went and met. He's an older gentleman now in Arizona, Steve Ontiveros. He taught me that pitch. And that pitch, the changeup, is kind of what I think kept me in the game. What'd you say?
No, I'm reading more mailbags here.
Oh.
Peaceful Tim said, Broder, have you ever thought about spiking that Kool-Aid?
Peaceful Tim, that's not so
Tim,
peaceful.
come on, man. Did you see Flannel
maybe
today when he was going on his rant? Someone threw a water bottle right at him and he just snagged it out of the air.
No way.
It's great. It was one of the best moments I think ever at Woodward.
Who threw it at him?
I think Lucas came out of the TD booth and threw it at him.
And then Ryan was cooking.
Yeah, no, it was great. One more question. We'll do one more and then we'll head out of here. Really, does anyone have one last question for us? One last question. Big Show Picks says, I love the baseball with Broder.
Hey, that was off the cut. I was wondering if Phil was in here. Phil's been asking for the glove to show up. It's actually Dominic Smith.
Can
He gave me this glove.
real quick?
Yeah.
Will you catch it?
Yeah, well.
The pro Dominic Smith?
A lefty Booner. I'm a lefty.
He came and trained. Mike Barris, former Michigan strength and conditioning coach, was also the strength and conditioning coach for the New York Mets.
Okay.
Who Dominic Smith was drafted by. So he came to Plymouth and worked out for a summer. He bought this just to his month in Michigan. And he left it and gave it to me on his way out.
Who was it again?
Dominic Smith, lefty hitter, first baseman. What's he on the? Shoot, what team?
He used to be on the Mets.
Giants.
Used to be on
Giants,
the
baby.
Yeah. But anyways,
all right, we appreciate you guys.
Send them out. Thank you guys.
I don't see any more questions here, but we really appreciate you guys all tuning in with us. We will be back tomorrow as always. All day tomorrow there's shows starting at 8 a.m. with Morning Woodward show, all the way leading up to us to Woodward Nights from 8 to 10 p.m. So make sure you guys tell a friend about the show. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Toodles, my G's.
Love you guys.